Hey everybody, it's Shamika. Just wanted to bring you another video to explain to you the process of what happens when you don't pay your bills. All right? So first, let me say that this is not me telling anybody not to pay your bills. I'm just letting you know what happens when you don't, so that you understand the full process, okay? So when I say bills, I'm talking about utility bills, your mortgage, your car payment, credit cards, anything that can be reported to your credit report. I'm gonna tell you exactly the process of what happens when you don't pay it. So you are allowed, and this is just for credit card bills and mortgages and auto loans. We're not gonna talk about utilities right now. For any type of a loan or credit card, you have 6 months, which is 180 days, before your account is charged off. And what does that mean? Charged off simply means that the company is no longer carrying your debt on its books anymore. It's an accounting term that just simply means wipe off that debt. We're not going to carry it anymore. We're going to continue on pursuing our other current customers or our current paying customers, and we're going to leave this person alone. So if you look on your credit report, you'll notice if you've ever missed any payments, you'll see them color coded. There's a 30, a 60, a 90, 120, and 180 day missed payment or a late payment. If you have 180 days, which is 6 months, that company now has the right to terminate its business with you, and it will write your debt off. Now, how many of you have heard of trade insurance? Not many people have. But what is trade insurance? I'm going to tell you. Trade insurance is nothing but a insurance policy that creditors take out on each individual account, so that if you happen to not pay, they can pick up the phone or go on the computer and make a claim. And guess what? They get a certain percentage of money back for the bill that you did not pay. A lot of people don't know that that is possible, but it does happen. That is exactly what trade insurance does. It protects the company from completely just going broke if people decide that they don't want to pay their bills anymore. All right. Now, once we hit the 180 days, once they've gotten their money from the trade insurance, that debt sits in a pile with a bunch of other debt from other people who also did not pay. And what happens is you have companies that are debt collectors, or we can call them debt buyers, and they come along and they purchase your debt in bulk. So that means your debt, your cousin's debt, somebody in another country, another state's debt, whatever. They buy a bunch of it. They may get a lot of unpaid bills for a very small price. It's usually like pennies on the dollar. For example, they can acquire $50,000 worth of unpaid bills for probably about $35,000 to $5,000. Now, that's a great profit if they're able to convince every single one of you guys to pay all your bills back. But let me tell you something that you did not know. So say, for example, you owe Capital One $1,000. They've written you off because you're not paying. You're at your 180 days. And say Midland Funding or Portfolio Recovery buys that debt, and now they are coming after you for the bill. What happens if you do pay? Well, if you do pay, any amount that that company collected that's over the amount that they paid to buy the debt as a whole is profit. So if you have $1,000 that you didn't pay Capital One, and your portion of what they paid to acquire your debt, say it's only $300 that they paid to acquire that $1,000 bill. That's actually a little high, but we're just going to say that. That means that $700 difference is now profit that goes into their pockets, which they pay their employees, blah, 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 whole nine. So everybody gets paid, even if you don't pay. Now, I'm not saying don't pay, but I want you to know what happens if you don't pay. Even if you do pay, these are some of the things that happens. These individuals get their money regardless. So if you settle and pay Midland Funding or Portfolio Recovery, that's great. It's being responsible, the whole nine. But just know that, one, that item's not going to come off your credit report unless you make that arrangement beforehand. And two, that any money that they get over the amount that they paid is profit to them. And 3, that company that you originally did business with, well, they're not going to do business with you to take that money now because they've already sold it to collections. So they no longer have an interest in collecting from you. And they've already filed a claim on trade insurance. So they already got their money back. Okay. So really the only person that's really stuck in the mud that's looking kind of crazy would be you, because it's obviously damaged your credit. But that is the process of how it works when you don't pay your bill. Now, I'm going to make some additional videos that are that's going to continue on in the process to let you know, what time the debt collectors can call you. I'm going to give you some information on the Fair Credit Reporting Act, some things that you don't know. But right now, I'm just making little small chunk videos so you guys can have some information so that you can go forward and feel great. Not necessarily about not paying your bills, but just being informed about the process of credit and debt collection and the whole credit process. So keep in mind that even if you don't pay, neither of the companies that you're not paying, they're not necessarily hurting as bad as they would make it seem. Please don't believe it. Remember, the government will give banks big bailouts where they won't give us any. And the only option we have as consumers is to file bankruptcy, which I definitely will do a video on that because I am pro bankruptcy. I'm not against it. I think it's a wonderful program. And I'll get to that later to explain to you guys why. But again, if you cannot pay your bills and an item gets charged off, please understand the process that happens so that you are aware that if they start calling you and harassing you, believe me, they're only doing that because that's their job and they want the extra profit. And I'm talking about debt collectors. Okay, so be smart, be wise, and read, educate yourself on credit because it is very, very, very important. It's so many moving pieces to it. It's amazing. So once again, subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. And I hope that you learn 1 about trade insurance and 2 about how the debt collectors make a profit if you pay your bill, even though it's already written off. All right. So guys, take care. Thanks. Bye.